Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Lady J, and I am here to. We're going to talk a little bit this morning. And actually, on Sunday mornings, I'm normally doing a segment with Kenya because some of you may or may not know I'm actually now an international pastor with a church in Kenya. So this morning they were having trouble getting on, and we decided to we're going to wait, and so I'm just going to go on and I'm going to talk to you all about what I was going to talk to them about, and eventually we'll be coming on together so you all will be able to interact with them as well. But today I wanted to talk about the topic, and I forgot to put it in here. Let me just type it in here real quick. The topic today is you open the door. You open the door. And we're going to talk about that because I am guilty of opening the door. And sometimes when you open the door, it's hard to close the door. So we're going to talk about and we got to accept responsibility for the fact that that we have opened some doors, and we're trying to figure out how to we're trying to figure out, um, how do we close these doors up that we've opened, because sometimes, and I'm going to share something personal with you, but sometimes we open doors up and then we get mad because the doors have opened. People are walking through the doors like they have open access. They can do whatever they want to do. And we're sitting there trying to figure out, how in the world do I get this person or these people out of my life? How do I keep them from coming through this door whenever they feel like they want to? So let's get ready to take some responsibility for opening up some doors. But there is hope, because even though we've opened up some doors, I'm going to show you how to close the doors as well. So, what I would like for you to do, if you could just help me out and take a moment to share this video to let somebody else be encouraged today, and to help them to understand the importance of sometimes it's okay to open doors, but sometimes we got to close those doors up. So, if you could help me, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to say a quick prayer because we want to invite the Lord's presence into what we're talking about it at all times. And I never want these words to come from me. I want them to come from Him. So I want to, if you don't mind, just take a moment and ask God to come into this moment, this place, as we talk about closing the door. Father, thank you so much for this day. Lord, we just invite you into the presence. We invite you into the space. We invite you into our lives, because there's so much going on with this pandemic. There's a lot going on with people being ill and just crime. Lord, everything is going on. And sometimes we just don't know what to do. We feel stuck. And Lord, we just need you. We really, really need you. And so, especially in the city of Baltimore where I live, we need you. And so I just pray for your peace. I pray for your presence. I pray for your power, that you would just come down, and that you would reign among us, and that you would show us what we need to do. And not only that, that you would give us peace in the midst of every trial and every storm that we're going through. And this is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. So everybody, this is this is an interesting topic that I'm going to be talking about today, and I want to share something with you because it kind of came into my mind to talk about it because I was doing a life coaching session, and I'm not going to go into detail about all of what we were talking about, but as I was coaching this person, I remember her saying, "Why doesn't this person?" And I had to be careful how I do this, but she was saying, "Why won't this person just stay out of my business?" And as we started talking more and more and more, and I was listening, because it's my job to listen, and I was sitting there listening to her, and then I said, "You know what? You opened the door. You opened the door." And every time we open the door and we give people full access, we have to take responsibility. And I'm going to share a moment in time. This is way back in time because y'all know I'm old. So I'm going to share this moment in time with you. But I remember when I first got married, and I was 22 when I got married. Didn't it had no business get married at 22, but nevertheless, I got married at 22, and I remember we started having problems. And so what I would do, everybody, is I would get on the phone and I would call my parents and I would call some friends and I would tell everybody what we were going through, what's going on. And everybody would give me a whole bunch of advice. You need to leave, you need to stay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I remember at the age of 22, becoming very dependent on being able to just, make a phone call and say, you know what, this is going on, that's going on. He did this, he did that. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about, taking responsibility for the roles that we play in situations as well. So, there I was at age 22, and I think this went on for quite some time where I was always reaching out. There was times when I had given people keys to my home, like, if I'm going through something and if something happens and I need you, just take the key and come on in. I allow people to start walking through some doors in my life. I'm just sharing the video as I look down. And y'all do me a favor, please share the video as well. And also, if you would like to comment, feel free because I can see your comments. And so I remember um, for years, and I did this for years. I was 22. I probably did that until I was well into my 30s. You know, I just felt like it started becoming a habit. That was the other thing. It really started becoming a habit where I would just pick up the phone and I would call everybody. And it got to a point where, I would say to myself, why is everybody in my business and why does everybody know my business? Then I would start getting mad at people because I would hear people talking. And have you ever played that game as a kid where you whisper something and they whisper to the next person and they whisper to the next person, and by the time it gets all the way around, the word or the story has completely changed from what it was. And so as people started saying different things about me, and I'm so sorry guys, I don't know if I have my microphone on? I don't think I do. As people started saying different things about me and you know talking and all of that, it became more apparent that you know oops, I think I did something wrong. I think that maybe I should not have given people so much access to my life, but I couldn't stop. And it had gotten so comfortable for me to be able to pick up the phone and just say, you know what, hey, this is what I'm going through. Because sometimes as we're going through things, we want people to sympathize with us. We want people to hear our side of the story so they can start saying, well, you know what, you should just leave him, or he shouldn't have done that. And so that's why the word of God says that when you get married, you leave family and you cleave to your husband or to your spouse. You cleave to that person and you leave the family members out of it. But I had a habit of constantly opening that door. People had full access to everything. I'm talking about everything, down to the bedroom. They had full access to what was going on in my home. And here's the crazy thing. No one ever said to me, "Stop telling people your business. Stop letting people know everything that's going on." No one ever said that. People were always waiting to hear what I had to say about what was going on in my home. So I'm talking to this lady, and we're chatting, and I could see that she's getting really irritated because she's just like, she can't understand why people are in her business. And I said to her over and over, You open the door. You open the door. And so when we open the door, the only person that we can get mad at is ourselves. And like I told her, I said, you know what? At some point in time, you have to go and stand in that mirror and say to yourself, I open the door. I open the door so wide that I have allowed this person, that person, and the other person to get all up in my business. And is it irritating? Yes, it's very irritating. It's very irritating because, you get to a place in life, which I am in right now. I'm 58, and you get to a place in life, and I've noticed this as I've gotten older, where you just want quiet. You want a woosah. You want quiet. You don't want people all up in your stuff. You don't want 50,000 questions. You just want people to go in their corner, and in their house. You want to go in your corner, and you want to go in your house, and you want to shut the door when you get ready, and you want to open the door when you get ready, and you want people to mind their business. But when you give people full access and full reign to what's going on in your life and in your home and in your space and with the kids and with the job and all of this and that, you open that door. And that door, the longer you do it, the harder it becomes to close the door. Ask me, I know. The harder becomes to close the door, because what happens is that when you open that door and you allow people to come in to your business and into your space and into your world and give their input, and then all of a sudden you start getting stronger, and you start standing on your feet, and you start getting rooted and grounded, and you start kind of figuring this thing out, like, that's not quite what I wanted to do. I didn't quite want to let everybody in. People, some people will back away. Some people will applaud you and say, wow, I'm happy for you. I'm so glad you were able to do that. Call me if you need me. Then you have some people who are so used to you calling them. They're so used to you being down all the time, and always needing them for something, that it's hard for them to let go. And when you try to pull back and say, you don't need to know all of that. You don't need to be all up in that. Sometimes they get an attitude. Sometimes it's hard for them to function because they're so used to being in your life and telling you what you should be doing. That is difficult. And so I was explaining to the lady, I get your point. I hear you. But you open the door up. And so when you open the door, you have to expect that when you try to close that door on certain people, you're going to get pushback. And they're not even going to understand what they're doing. But I have seen people, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I have seen people become enraged when you try to pull back and say, "No, I don't need your help. I got this. I'm good. I'm in a good space right now. My job is good. My home is good. My mental is good, and my physical is good, and my relationship is good, and everything's going good. I'll call you if I need you." Some people can't handle it, and I've seen people go berserk because they're so used to being able to have that input and influence over your life. And so when you try to take it back and you try to shut the door, they're like, something in their brain clicks like, nope, you cannot shut that door on me. I'm coming with full force. And so I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about, how do you close that door? How do you get to a place where, because it's going to hurt, because it could be family, it could be your children, it could be close friends. It's because when we begin to talk, we gravitate to people who we think are doing so well, and we want to get their opinion and their input, and that's good, but you have to get to a place in life where, you know, you become more confident in who you are, and you start making some decisions on your own. There are very few people that I would suggest that you go and talk to. Now, if you really need to get some advice, if you're a young person, under 18, go to your parents if you can. If you feel like you can't go to your parents, go to somebody who you feel that you can trust and who will give you good information. If you're an adult, I would suggest that you be very careful about pulling everybody into your business. It's just not a good thing. It's just not, because once you start doing that, let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens also before I tell you how to close the door. What happens is when you continue to pull people into your business, I always say, you know how we talk about stocks, how stocks go up. People love the stock market when it's going up, when things are working in their favor. They don't like it when the stocks go down. And I always look at myself as like, stock. And so I feel like I've grown lately. My personal stock market has grown, okay? But in other people's eyes, I'm still that person who was needy. I'm still that person who was calling all the time. Hey, Davin. I'm still that person who was reaching out, who was having financial problems. In their eyes, that's how they still see me. And this is what I'm saying to some people. Sometimes we allow people into our lives so much that they feel like, number one, they have control over your life. Number two, they start seeing you in a certain way. And number three, unfortunately, when you start to get better, they don't move with you. You start moving and you start progressing, and they're still here. They're still stuck. And they still see you as that person. And that's why I'm always telling people, one, stop telling your business. Two, especially if you're going through something really rough, some people get on social media and they just put all the stuff out there. And I know I put a lot of stuff out there, but it's a lot of stuff y'all don't know. I put out there what I want. I'm very strategic in what I do. But I see people putting all of their stuff out there. They yelling, screaming, cussing, and videotaping. And, you know, we have to get to a point where we understand that we got to take some responsibility for this right here, for this mouth, for this body, for this mind. We got to take some responsibility. Now, when you continue to be that person, and as I said, I did it from about 22 all the way into my 30s, where I was just constantly reaching out, always needing help, always struggling, because then I was uh, just going through a lot. I'm not going to go into detail, but I was going through a lot, but always struggling, always crying, always depressed. And I was just constantly reaching out. It was just like I just wanted somebody to give me a lifeline. Just show me something. Just help me some kind of way. And I was always reaching out. So the picture that people started getting in their brain of me, she's needy, she's not reliable. She's not consistent. She's always struggling. She never knows what she wants to do. She's indecisive. All of these things because of what I'm putting out, because of what I'm sharing, because of the way that I'm acting. Everything that I'm putting out into the atmosphere and sharing with people is painting a picture of myself. And that's who they started seeing me as, this person who just doesn't have it together. And I've been called all kinds of names, and accused of doing all kinds of things that sometimes surprise me, because I'm like, I did that. Um, but that's what happens. Like I said, when you start repeating stuff and it starts going around, it gets tangled up as you go around. The story gets tangled, jumbled, and all of that. But what I have realized over the years, the surprising thing to me is that as I have grown and matured, and my girlfriend reminded me the other day, she said, but you a senior citizen. I said, shut up. But she reminded me of that the other day. But as I grow into my senior years. I'm 58. As I grow into that, what I have learned is that even as I have grown, even as I have progressed, even as I have matured, there are people who still see me as that person that I was at 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. They still see me as that person. And I'm 58. And I've done a lot since then. And so I'm sharing that with you because when you start thinking about why people are still treating you the same way and you're looking at yourself like, I did this. I got married. I have a great life. I have great children. I graduated from college. I'm president of a corporation. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business. And as you start thinking about all of the things you're doing and you've moved on and you no longer need those people in your life, I want you to remember that those people have not moved on. And could it be that when you were pouring out to them and sharing stuff with them about your life and what you were going through, could it be that they were going through some things as well? And what you were going through may have been a distraction for what they were dealing with. So they were able to not focus on their problems because they were so involved in yours. Hmm, could it be? Could it be? And now you're at a place in life where you don't need them as much, or maybe you don't need them at all. So now all of that focus that was shifted off of what they were going through has now shifted back. And they have to now focus on what they are going through. You get it? Sometimes that's the way that works. And you have to really think about this. See, I'm a thinker. I'm a thinker. I will sit back and be quiet for hours because I'm thinking. And that crossed my mind one day as I'm thinking, and this is how you can really know if what I'm saying is true. Start thinking about the people that you used to pour out to. Start thinking about their lives. Have they are they the ones that's giving you the pushback? Are they the ones that can't let go? And what was going on in their life back then? What do you see going on in their life right now? Are they happy? Because see, when people are happy, and I talk to a lot of y'all, I talk to a lot of people. That's why on the weekends I try not to do anything. But the thing is, when people are happy and when people have stuff going on in their life, they're able to advise you, pray with you, counsel you, support you, applaud you, and continue to move on with their life. And when you come back and you say, you know what, hey, it's like a light bulb went off. I got it. I'm doing well. And they're able to say, wow, I'm so happy for you. Oh my goodness. Rah, 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 rah. They're happy for you. This is what people do who are fulfilled in their lives. They're able to be there for you and support you. And then at the same time, when you shut the door, they're able to say, you know what? I'm proud of you. Call me if you need me. Text me if you need me. Get back to me if you need me. And they're able to move on with their lives. But then you have people who are going through their own struggle in life. They're already going through stuff. And you've been giving them all of your data, all the stuff that you're going through. And now you're saying, hey, guess what? I'm not going through that anymore. I'm good. I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to do that. And you will see their whole demeanor change. And that's because it's something that they're going through. They're not happy about something. Now they don't have a project to work on anymore. You get it? You were the project that they were working on. You were the one that they were living through. You were the one that they were waiting for you to call. They were waiting for you to cry about something. They were waiting for you to be upset and say, I need, I need, I need. You were the project. And now You, the project, you want to close the door. And they're giving you pushback like, nope, mm-mm. I'm letting you close this door because you're still the same inconsistent, silly, unreliable, blah, 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 blah person that you used to be. And you're starting to fight like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not that. Listen, let me tell you what to do because I'm about to end this in 2 minutes. Okay. Here's what you need to do. First of all, I applaud anyone. And I love when I talk to people and they come back and say, Lady J, guess what? We talked. I did X, Y, and Z. I'm feeling so much better. And this is what's happening. I applaud them. I'm happy for them. And when we finish talking, I go about my business. I do what I'm doing because I'm happy, I'm fulfilled. So I don't need to live in somebody else's world or live in their life or worry about them. And like I said, I talk to a lot of people, I hear a lot of stuff. And when we're done, we're done. That's it. I move on. You have to learn that as you grow and as you mature, everybody's not going to grow and mature with you. And these could be the people that were helping you along the way. That don't mean nothing. Everybody's not going to grow and mature with you. So some people, I always use this phrase, you have to let them get off the train. It's time for you to get off. It was nice riding with you. It was nice having you on here, but you got to go. You got to get off because I'm moving forward and I am on a journey. And the journey that I'm going on, thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. But now you're doing the most. Don't say that part though. Don't say that part. I have to move on. And so you have to learn how to close these doors. And you close the doors by setting boundaries and using your words. Setting boundaries and using your words by letting people know when because what will happen too is you'll start making decisions and you don't even call and say anything to them, but they see you doing stuff, they see you making decisions, going here, going there, they might call it, well, I don't think that's a good idea. And you have to say to them, you know what, I really appreciate you saying that. But right now, this is what I'm working on and this is what I've chosen to do. So I'm going to try it out and see how it is. Thank you. You have to learn how to use your words, not get upset. Don't get angry. Use your words. Let it go. And if they want to continue carrying it on, let them carry it. Let them have it. You continue to move on. You continue to go forward. You continue to grow. Don't get caught up in that. You don't. And I don't owe you an explanation. That's what you have to get into your mindset because I've seen people break people down and then they start saying, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And the other person is saying, well, you shouldn't. You should be doing, and they're going back and forth. No. As you grow and you mature and you start progressing, what you decide to do in your journey is between you and the Lord or whoever you serve. That's who it's between because it's your journey. Feel free to go on your journey. Feel free to do what you like to do. Feel free to not give people access if you don't want to. They don't have to have access to everything that you're doing. They don't have to give you their opinion or their approval to everything that you're doing. Feel free to push back. It's okay. It's okay. They'll get over it. And it will also after as time goes on over time, it will show them it will make them hopefully it will make them I'll put that in there, hopefully it will make them ask themselves a question, why am I so involved in what this person is doing if they're telling me they don't need my assistance anymore, if they're telling me that I'm good? Why can't I just applaud them? Why can't I just send them a text and say, great job, I'm happy for you? Why can't I move on? Why am I still stuck on what they're doing or what they're not doing or what I think they should do? Hopefully, they'll start asking themselves this question. But I'm talking to you today, and I want you to learn how, first of all, to accept the fact. Don't get mad and pissed off. You open that door up. I opened that door. We gave people full access to come in and do whatever the heck they wanted to do and say whatever they wanted to say. We did that. And so we may be forever looked at as people who still need them. When in fact, and in actuality, we've moved on. We're doing great, but not in their eyes. So what you have to learn how to do is close the door. You close the door by setting boundaries. They don't get to call and say, "What are you doing?" I mean, they can say it. Let me not say that. They can call and say, "Hey, how's it going?" or "What are you doing?" And you may say, "I just started school." They may say, "Well, that's a silly idea. You started school with COVID and all this." And then, so how do you respond? You come back and you don't even have to ask, "Well, why are you saying it's a silly idea?" Because that continues on with another conversation. You come back with, "You know what? I appreciate you saying that, but that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to start." That's it. That's all they get. It is you a closed conversation. You close that conversation up real quick, wrap it up real quick. I'm not asking you why you said it. I'm not going to respond to you in a negative way because you're asking me a question. I'm just going to tell you I'm looking forward to it. Maybe you should try going back to school. You know, throw it back at them. Help them to understand that I didn't ask for your opinion. I didn't ask if you thought it was okay. But I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. And you do it in a very tactful way. Communication is so important. How you use your words, how you respond, even in your voice tone, how you put it out there. Because you could say, "Well, I'm going to school. This is what I want to do." And your voice tone is saying to somebody else, "I made her mad. I hit a nerve. I hit a button. Mm-mm-mm. She hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. He's still the same way." Or you could say, "I hear what you're saying. You know what? But for me, that's what I want to do right now. And I am definitely waiting for school to start. I'm so excited. I can't wait until it happens. I'll let you know how it goes." You might want to try it too. You want to say it in a way where you help them to understand that they can feel however they want to feel. You can feel however you want to feel. And I get to feel how I want to feel, and I get to say what I want to say. And I get to do what I want to do. I'm not that person anymore. I don't need your advice. I don't need your opinion. I don't need your approval. I'm able to do this thing on my own. Thank you for the part you played in my journey. You can also let them know that too. I really appreciate the part you played in my journey, but I am good right now. Set the boundaries, which means you're not calling them anymore, telling them your business. You're not calling them anymore about this person did that, this person said that. You're not calling them about your finances. You're not calling them for anything except maybe to say hi. How's it going? You need anything? I'm in the area. You want to go out to lunch? Those are the kind of calls you want to make. But you're not calling as a needy person anymore. And every time you slip back and you make that call, "You know what? I'm in trouble. He did this, he did that, girl. He did. I need some money. I need." Every time you slip back and you make that call, you just open the door again. You just open the door again. And you're allowing these people to come in again. It could be years that have gone by. And then all of a sudden, you pick up the phone, you're crying and blah, blah, blah. Again, you open the door. So every time, I want you to remember this, every time you open that door, you give that person full access and full entry into what's going on in your life. No need crying about it. No need asking a question. Why are they in my business? Why are they trying to tell me what to do? Why are they talking about me? You open the door. Close the door. Close it. Close it, lock it, put a bolt on it, and walk away. Close the door and leave it shut. Cause see, we'll get to a point we start not me, because I didn't go back, but some people will start feeling sorry for themselves, or they're down on themselves and they on that phone. Oh, this happened, that happened, and you start opening the door and giving people access. That's your fault. I can't feel sorry for you. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I'm just going to give you the information. Close the door. Now, you, like I told the lady I was life coaching, you want to either leave the door open, cracked a little bit, or you want to close it. Which one do you want to do? Because guess what? It's up to you. This is your life. So if you want to continue to have people in your business and continue to let people have full access to who you are and what you're doing, keep the door open or keep it cracked. Just do that. But if you are genuinely at a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I got this. I'm good. Not saying that we're perfect, but we're good. We're not where we used to be, and nobody should be. Hey, John, good morning. Nobody should be. As I always say, if you were in the same place that you were in last year, today's December 5th, 2021. If you're still in the same place that you were in December 5th, 2020, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I don't have people around me like that. I got to have movers and shakers in my life. I have to have people who are motivated, people who are going places, people who have dreams and goals and they're hitting the mark. Those are the people that I have to have in my life. And if you're not doing those things, you listen. I've closed the door because I cannot have those kind of people in my life who are just sitting back with their arms folded and not doing anything and content with where they are. And that's why I said, as you talk to people, as you tell people about your personal life and things that you're going through and with your wife or your husband or your children or your finances or this or that, as you start telling people your business, make sure that you're talking to people who are in the right mindset. Because see, we can talk and share with anybody, but is that person's mind right? Because see, like I said earlier, I sit back and look at people, I observe, and so some people may know a little bit about me, some people may know a lot about me, and some people may not know anything about me because you can't handle everything that I might say. So you have to be very careful about who you're sharing with and who you're receiving advice from. Because when it's time to close that door, if I'm getting advice from you, and there are people that I have gotten advice from, I mean, some serious advice from. And when I think about them, they shut the door and they wish me well. They're happy for me. They applaud me and everything. And they continue moving on. You know why? Because they're happy with their own life and they don't need to be caught up in mine. But as I said earlier, people who are not happy in their own life will become more and more obsessed. And I'm going to use the word obsessed. They become more and more obsessed with what's going on in your life and waiting for that call. That call. That call of up when you're upset, when you're angry, when you're confused. They're waiting so they can listen and also give you some advice. I don't know if it's going to be good advice, but they like you coming back. So today I want you to learn, if you're ready, to learn how to close that door. Close it up and keep your business, your life, and everything that you're going through. Keep it here. And only talk to people who are going to be able to minister to your spirit in a way that when you walk away, you feel fulfilled. you feel like, okay, I can do this. And they're able to walk away and stay in their lane and mind their business and give you your space and be there when you need them. Those are the kind of people that you want in your life. Those are the kind of people that you want in your life. Where you can open the door and you can say, pray for me. I need some help. I'm going through some struggles. And they can bring you into their space, and they can hug you, they can embrace you, they can talk to you. And then they can let you go. And they say, call me if you need anything. Those are the people you want in your life. Where you know your business is not going to be going anywhere. And they genuinely wish you well. Those are the people you want to open the door for. And you know that they'll close the door for you. If you don't close it tight, if you're going through so much and you can't even close your door tight, because I know people like that. Sometimes I have to close the door for them. And that simply means that I have to close the door. I'm not running around telling everybody what they just said or posting anything. It's all in here, all in here, all in here. I close the door for them until they're strong enough to close it for themselves. But those are the kind of people that you want in your life. And even with those people, when I close the door, I'm not constantly calling. So what's going on? So what happened today? I close the door and I allow them to have their time to work it out. But they know if they need me, they can call me or they can text me and we'll talk. But I'm going to allow you the time to work this thing out. We're grown people. We got to learn how to work it out, work through it. Whether it be that you need to go to therapy, counseling, or whatever, we have to learn how to work it out. So, what am I saying today? What I'm saying to you is get to a place where you accept responsibility. When you start saying, why is everybody in my business and why do they know this and that? Because you told them. Why are they always calling me and why they talk? Because you let them in. You gave them access. You opened that door up. You opened the door. So take responsibility for that. And then as you take responsibility, start learning how to not give them access. Because like I said, some people, you pulling on one side of the door to close it. They pulling on the other side to open it. They are not letting this door go. And you stand your ground and you hold that door. And you use your words and let them know I am good. Even if you have to say it 20 times. A lot of times when we say things over and over, people get it. That's why they show commercials and stuff over and over again, because they want you to get it. They want it to be ingrained in your brain. So sometimes when you say it over and over, listen, I got it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Stop. You know, they will get it. When you call less and less, when you're texting less and less, they start to get it. Set the boundary. It's up to you. You probably already knew this before I did the video. You set the tone for how you want your life to be going forward. Now, if you want people in your business, this is all a wasted conversation. Me personally, I don't want people in my business. So I share what I want to share, things that I don't mind putting out. And then there's certain things that I don't share at all. There are things that I will take to my grave that no one will ever know about, because they're just things that I can't share. And I'm sure you have some of those things as well. But I understand that I am the one. I am the gatekeeper. Okay? I have to shut the door. And I have to make the decision about who I'm going to allow on the other side of the door, who I'm going to open the door for. That's up to me. And we all get to make that decision. So going forward this week, if you're one of those people, I pray that you will start making the necessary changes. Is it going to be hard? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be difficult? Yep. It is. But you know what? You can do it. You can do it. And it's important for you to do it because you're going to feel so much better. And you get to paint a whole new picture of who you are. See, people saw how you used to be. They saw what you used to be. They saw the brokenness and the insecurity and the unstableness and you know um um the person who was just all over the place. Now they see you as a person who's settled, who has it together, and you're able now to move about in life and be just like everybody else. You're able to move about and just be that woman or that man that God has created you to be. So be okay with that. All right. Everybody have a great day. Be blessed. Listen, God's got you. He's keeping you covered. And close the door. Okay. Close the door. Be blessed. Have a great Sunday. It's going to be beautiful outside today. And to the people in Kenya, God bless. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.